So I'm going to talk about the greatest weapon of all time. Explosives? No. Guns? You're gonna have to go back in time. Swords? Close. I'm talking about the spear. If you've ever been involved in a fight or war, you should know, in fact, that there are many kinds of weapons to choose from. The spear truly is a fantastic weapon, and I will be talking about a few specific points in time involving the spear. Let's start by talking about the ancient types of spear. The following quote is from Britannica.com, stating, "One of the earliest weapons designed by man, the spear was simply a sharpened stick. They were throwing weapons used for hunting and occasionally home defense." The same website states, "When military practice evolved from the independent action of individuals to the group movements of masses of soldiers, the spear became a thrusting weapon." Now that I've talked for a moment about regular spears, let's talk about when they evolved. Time to talk about polearms, specifically my favorite type, the halberd, in terrible image quality. The following information is from medievalchronicles.com. It was invented around the 14th century, fell out of fashion around the 18th century, and was initially used by the Swiss. The Germans and others followed suit later on. That's a German halberd, by the way. Now, this thing is a beast. Some advantages is that it's versatile. An axe for chopping, the spearhead for thrusting, and this little spot in the back, horse to leader. Of course, everything has to have disadvantages. That's only natural. Since it is a polearm, it's only truly effective at a specific range. Keep a sword right here, just in case. You can't use a shield due to it being two-handed, and soldiers had to stick together to achieve maximum combat efficiency. Any defect could mean disaster. Now, around the time the halberd died, spears and polearms were generally falling out of fashion in warfare. But I'm going to talk about how spears lived on for longer than you probably thought. I'm talking about the bayonet. A direct quote from the website nps.gov goes as follows. "The bayonet transformed the musket from a mid to long range weapon into one effective at close range as well. The first use of bayonets was simply a knife stuck to the end of a musket barrel used by French hunters catching wild boar. This combination was later used in warfare and became known as the plug bayonet." In beautiful, terrible image quality. Though an effective weapon, a downside of the plug bayonet was that the musketeer could not shoot while it was, plugged in. Now, obviously, this didn't fly with the soldiers, so naturally they invented the socket bayonet. And this is the kind of bayonet you would expect when people think of a socket bayonet. The improvements with this new bayonet were great, let me tell you. It could be affixed easier, and you could actually shoot while firing it. Trust me, that's really convenient. The final quote I'll be using from the website goes as follows. "Socket bayonets were used through the middle of the 20th century. However, the triangular shape became obsolete after the late 1800s. So, now I've talked about a few points in history about the spear. I have talked about basic spears, the almighty halberd, and the bayonet. It's pretty obvious by now, but I gotta say it. I love spears. Thank you for listening. Have a great day.